G'day Australia! Randbuild have a new product range, Backyard Shacks.
Backyard Shacks are the affordable and innovative product range from Randbuild. Before we start the construction video, let's look at the whole process in time-lapse so you can get the complete picture. From 1-bedroom studio shacks up to 4-bedroom open-plan houses, the Backyard Shacks range is available in both cyclonic and non-cyclonic versions. Available Australia-wide through our dealer network, Backyard Shacks are affordable, practical, and a great value solution to your living space requirements. The kits arrive pre-packed with all parts marked and clear, easy to follow construction diagrams. Pre-punched holes and assembly instructions make it easy for do-it-yourselfers and experienced builders alike. The structures are supplied ready to finish to lock up, with just the following trades and interior fit out to complete the job. This video offers general assembly and installation advice. Refer to the Backyard Shacks installation manual and job specific plans for full details. Our first consideration is worker safety. The HIA recommends a safe work method statement be written and that the work site conforms to the safe work practices in the Building Code of Australia. Check the delivery docket and ensure all parts have been delivered. And make sure you read our construction manuals before you start work. Here's a quick look at the tools you'll need to do the job. A drill and fasteners, step ladder, spirit or laser level, hacksaw, rivet gun, silicon gun and clear silicon, adjustable spanner, tape measure, a post hole digger or shovel, string line and stakes, concrete, pliers and tin snips, ratchet wrench, drill and adapters, angle grinder, electrical leads, safety equipment, sawhorses and planks. Okay, let's look at the preparation for the subfloor system. You'll need to perform a soil test to determine the expected soil movement and therefore the engineering required for the foundations. Backyard Shacks are engineered for the 3 most stable soil type. A site plan is a set of construction drawings that a builder or contractor uses to make improvements to a property. This video assumes a site plan has been created, submitted and approved by the local building authorities. Also, an energy efficiency rating is required. Using the site plan, mark out on the ground the dimensions where your corner posts will go using a tape measure or string line. If the site requires levelling or the ground is sloping, this may require additional ground preparation. Measure diagonals to check for square, measuring from the outside of the posts. Once corner markings have been located, refer to the board pier layout or slab plan for marking out pier holes or the intermediate post holes on the ground. The uni-pier post heights now need to be cut to the correct levels. Fasten the uni-pier head to the post with M12 bolts. Refer to the floor plan for connection details. We're now ready to install the bearers, which are screwed to the uni-piers as shown here. The bearers have cleats to allow easy connection to the floor joists. The bearers will be connected to the joist with a cleat and bolt connection. Refer to the floor layout sheet and engineering for specific connection details. When the joists are complete, the posts are braced. Bracing is installed and fixed at the pier head and at the base of the post. Refer to the floor plan for bracing installation and connection details. Subfloor lintels are fixed after the wall hold downs are fitted. Lintels will be fastened to the open C-section with wafer head screws, top and bottom of the C-section at 400mm centres. Finally, a timber floor, which is not supplied in the kit, is added to complete the floor system. Each wall panel will arrive separately bundled with the components clearly labelled. Common studs may be bundled separately for the entire job. For on-site assembly, the assembly order should match the erection sequence. Refer to the Backyard Shack layout drawing supplied. The part numbering is from left to right on the assembly drawing. Identify the plates, studs, heads, sills, unders and overs from the branding information on the parts. The dimpled holes and notches enable easy component layout and assembly. Fix through the top face with a framing fastener. At the openings, locate the notched ends of the heads and sills over the studs in the correct position. Check this against the assembly drawing. Align the dimple holes and fix through the top face with a framing fastener. Engage the overs into the heads and top plate, fixing the top face with framing fasteners. Slip the top plate over the studs and align the holes. At this point, fasten all the aligned holes. Flip the frame and install the framing fasteners into each aligned hole. Fit the lintels where required. Wall lintels will be fastened with M6 GX Tech screws. Where bracing falls on a lintel, the bracing will be placed under the lintel and the same M6 GX Tech screws will be used through both materials. Square the frame by measuring diagonals and install the bracing. Strap bracing should be left untensioned as this is completed after the frame construction. Using the project floor plan drawings, use a chalk line to mark the inside of the wall positions on the platform floor. Ensure the layout is square by measuring the diagonals. Unpack and lay the wall frames close to their intended position according to the drawing. Starting from one corner of the building, stand 2 frames to the chalk lines to make a square corner. Screw the panels together using hex head screws at the top and bottom plates. Continue standing walls and attaching them together, working outward from the corner, making sure you set the interior walls inside the building before completing the exterior walls. When all the walls are standing, complete the frame-to-frame connections in accordance with the details in the Backyard Shack installation manual. Move the frames to align with the marked wall position and check the room sizes and ensure the rooms are square. Refer to the wall panel frames for hold down locations. A hole will be required to be drilled on site through the bearer or joist flange to accommodate an M12x50 hex bolt and nut to fasten the wall hold down. Similarly, if a slab is in place, an M12 chem set will be used in lieu of the M12 bolt. Refer to the wall panel assembly details for exact locations. After you have completed the installation, check that all the hold downs are correctly located. Use a plumb bob or level and set the walls to vertical by increasing or decreasing the tension on the diagonal bracing. Aligned service holes make cabling and plumbing easy, and straight walls give a great finish to the plasterboard. Follow-on trades will find working with Backyard Shack wall frames a breeze. Now, let's look at the truss assembly. The trusses in the Backyard Shack structures uses a system of matching punched holes for assembly. Again, components are branded with the job number, truss and part number. Webs are numbered from left to right and cords counterclockwise around the truss from the bottom cord. The assembly of each truss is simple. Referring to the assembly drawing and the detailed connection drawings supplied, lay the cords in their approximate location, toes down. Engage the top cord into the bottom cord notch and align the appropriate holes. Insert a truss framing screw into the aligned holes. Align the holes with those punched on the cords and fix with truss framing screws. To fix each cord, start each truss in the centre and work outwards to each heel. Note, the web should force the cords into the correct geometry without any jigging. The truss will only go together one way. Check that the overall height and span is correct. The overall height and span should now match the quality check dimensions on the assembly drawing. First, using the components supplied, box any webs or cords as shown on the assembly drawings. Boxed truss stiffeners, which are 200mm long, are installed at the ends of the truss bottom cord and are fastened top and bottom with M6 GX Tech screws. Place the reinforcing screws for the web to cord connections as shown in the connection drawings. Refer to the web plan drawing and check the correct number of screws are fixed at the end of each web. Stack the trusses in the order they will be required for installation. Now we're ready to install the trusses. The backyard shack drawings help us install the roof frame. Using the truss layout drawing, mark the top of the wall to indicate the truss locations. Install the truss hold-down bracket to the top plate of the wall at each truss location using the connection system specified in the installation manual. Stand the first truss and screw through the face of the connection bracket into the bottom chord of the truss. Some of the heel screws may have to be removed to have the truss fit flush against the clip. The screws used to attach the clip to the truss replace the screws that you've just removed. Make sure the truss is centered properly on the building to see that they are in accordance with the drawings and standing vertical. Install the next two trusses and screw a piece of top span batten into the top chords of the trusses to temporarily brace them. Extend the top span batten out to catch and brace the next trusses. Install the appropriate 40mm top span battens on the trusses in accordance with the cladding requirements. Once the trusses and rafters are erected, install roof bracing in accordance with your installation manual. Bracing is generally placed as close to 45 degrees to the sidewall as possible, but not below 30 degrees. Install bracing over the top chord of the trusses and the battens. Refer to the installation guide for the connection drawings and screw specifications. One end of the bracing is fixed to the wall top plate adjacent to the truss position and the other end to the high point of the truss. The ceiling battens must be fitted to the underside of the trusses immediately after the roof trusses have been installed. By fixing the ceiling battens at this stage, the roof trusses will be laterally restrained without the need of bottom chord ties. A preliminary flashing is installed on the corners and around the window and door openings. All these flashings must be installed before the wall cladding is fixed. Starting with a corner flashing, this provides the start and the end point for your horizontal sheeting. The windows and glass sliding door are installed into the rough opening in the wall panel by using a Tech 36 extended point screw through the timber reveal into the jam stud. Locate the window or glass door centrally in the opening. The preliminary flashing for the windows and doors are now installed using a Tech 15 button head screw to hold in place. There are flashings that tuck in behind the extrusion and the outside flashing of a window. Use a Tech 15 button head screw to hold the preliminary flashing in place. Ensure you use the nominated fasteners. With the PA door, there is a frame which slots into the hole. The PA door has a preliminary flashing which provides the start and finishing point between the corner and the door or window. Wall insulation is placed over the studs and held in place until the sheeting is fastened to the wall studs. Referring to the cladding diagram, check which studs you need to screw the cladding to. It is not necessary to screw to every stud. Before the sheeting goes on, a foam infill strip must be fitted. This goes behind the sheeting to waterproof the corner and around the windows and the doors. Referring to the cladding diagram, begin installing the horizontal Lysart custom orb sheeting. Start with the edge of the sheet 17mm down from the bottom of the subfloor as noted in the cladding diagram. Refer to the cladding plan for the sheet starting measurements as this is important in sealing the building. This provides a nice seal to keep moisture and vermin out of the walls. The cladding diagram shows where each sheet is supposed to go. Sometimes a cut may be required to go around a window or door. Once all the wall cladding has been fitted, it is time to install the finishing flashing using the flashing detail sheets. These are available as 2D and 3D rendered images. Please refer to the installation manual before fitting all these flashings. The sequence of installation is important. Roof insulation is laid before any cladding is fitted. It is necessary to put the fascia flashing on before laying the roof. Use a string line to ensure the gutter brackets are aligned correctly and sufficient fall is provided to drain the gutter. Installation of the roof cladding is accomplished by screw fixing through the crest of the sheets into the top span batten. Refer to the installation manual for the correct screw. For maximum weather tightness, start laying the sheets from the end of the building that will be in the lee of the worst anticipated or prevailing weather. Before lifting the sheets onto the roof, check that they are the correct way up and the overlapping side is towards the edge of the roof from which the installation will start. Position the first sheet before fixing to ensure that it is correctly located in relation to other parts of the building. Check that the sheet is aligned with the end wall or its barge or fascia, bearing in mind the type of flashing or capping treatment to be used, and ensure it aligns correctly at its ends in relation to the gutter and the transverse wall. Roof sheets should overhang a minimum of 50mm into the gutters. After fixing the first sheet in position, align the following sheets using the long edge of the previous sheet. It is important that you keep the gutter end of all sheets in a straight line. Fix each sheet completely before laying the next, or fix sheets sufficiently to ensure they can't move. Complete laying all the sheets, then return to place all the intermediate fasteners later. Occasionally, check that the sheets are still parallel with the first sheet by taking 2 measurements across the width of the fixed cladding. To prevent moisture being drawn into the laps by capillary action, Custom Orb has the edges of the sheet over-curved. With a double skillion roof, there is a section of walling to be installed between the upper and lower skillion sections. This requires an apron flashing to be fitted on top of the lower level roof, which has just been laid. Once the flashing is installed, the upper wall can be fitted. The barge cappings are fixed at the edge of the roof after the sheeting and the fascia is laid. Stop ends are to be installed using silicone sealants and blind rivets. Use a drill or tin snips to cut a hole to fit an outlet for the downpipe. When ready, lift the gutter into position onto the brackets. Then the quad gutter is fitted to the bracket by bending the tab on the bracket over into the scroll of the gutter. A PVC downpipe is required but not supplied. The large eaves of the backyard shack means that the soffit lining will be used on the underside of the eaves. Long sheets of Lysart Mini Orb must be mitered at each corner. Use Rippletech 35 screws to fasten the soffit sheets to the underside of the truss top cord or spacer cords on the ends. The return of the barge capping, which has been previously installed, acts as the start and end points for this sheeting. Spacer cords need to be fastened to the underside of the extended top hats. The soffit sheeting cannot be installed until the roof has gone on. All the finishing flashings are usually done at the end of the installation. The interior fit out is not part of the backyard shack kit. And that's it. Let's have another look at the whole process in time lapse again. Andrew, what do you think about the backyard shacks from Rambuild?
Well, Alan, this is the first backyard shack I've ever done for Rambuild. Actually, it's the first one I've ever built. And the first thing you notice is how fast they go together. The products being all metal and computer cut and generated, everything is precise and fits perfectly.
Thank you.